Automakers have frozen imports as thousands and thousands of cars are stacking up at American ports. This is a very interesting situation and is going to affect the cars you can buy. It's going to affect automakers' sales. Everything's kind of in chaos right now. Here is what's actually happening. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. It's great to have you with us. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. The trade war has started. Yes, Donald Trump's tariffs have been put on pause, but not for cars. The car tariffs are still there. Someone told me, no, car tariffs are still on. I'm like, no, you're right. The car tariffs are still there. The other tariffs are the ones that have been cancelled or put on pause. Donald Trump's strategy is kind of freaking everyone out. And although the president has hit pause on reciprocal tariff hikes for 90 days in dealings with many countries, the separate 25% tariff on automobiles and car parts remains in place. For car makers, that means they're all panicking. And when I say panicking, I think I'm understating the reality here. Many brands have adopted a wait-and-see strategy. What do you do when you're scared? You just analysis paralysis. You do, what the hell? You just stand there and go, The truth is they're aware that the president could change his mind. They're hoping that he does. Many brands have paused shipments like Audi to the US entirely because they don't want to pay these tariffs. Speaking with the Financial Times, unnamed executives from the logistics and automotive sectors say imported cars are piling up at US ports, with some close to full capacity. Ports don't have any more, basically there's no more space for cars there. Companies like Aston Martin, Audi, Jaguar, Land Rover, they have suspended shipping to the US entirely in the hope their current inventories will last until long-term resolutions are reached with the country's trading partners. Now, I should mention to you, there will not be the situation that Audi, Porsche, Toyota, to be honest, if you're a European automaker, it's highly unlikely Trump will actually cancel the tariffs. And the reason is because Germany and Europe have had tariffs on American cars for more than a decade. So I don't think Trump's going to say, yeah, okay, we're going to go back to the good old days when you guys paid 0% and we paid 10%, and we still do. I mean, not when I say we, I'm not an American, am I? But anyway, American cars and cars from anywhere except China, it's a different story. But cars going to Germany and Europe still have to pay a 10% tariff. But before these tariffs from Trump, the tariffs on cars from Germany and from Europe to America were paying 0. So Trump may cancel the 25% tariffs, but I don't think he's going to go below 10% because that would make it equal, right? However, car manufacturers are trying every trick in the book to avoid paying these new tariffs. CarScoop says that in addition to holding vehicles at US ports before importers need to pony up for the tariffs and get the cars on the roads, some brands want to shift imported vehicles to US bonded warehouses. These facilities, by the way, I had a factory, was part of owning a factory like that in Taiwan. You're able to avoid taxes. You got to pay more for them. But anyway, these facilities allow car companies to store their cars without being charged tariffs. Confusion about this issue has caused panic, and in some places, there's a lot of concern. Trump imposed a 25% tariff on all imported cars last week, and he promised to impose taxes on foreign-made car parts from the 3rd of May. So those taxes on foreign-made car parts will affect Ford and General Motors, and to be honest, they'll affect all automakers. Tesla the least, because most of Tesla's parts are made in America, but some of them, about 15% of Tesla's parts come from outside of America. So Tesla will have to pay around 25% tariff on those parts if they can't get them from American companies. But everyone else is looking at paying probably around 25% tariff on about 60% of the car. And Ford and GM are going to be hit by that pretty badly. So is everyone else, though. A German car executive told the FT that it wasn't clear what constitutes a car part. Is a part an engine, or is it each screw in the engine? That's a good question. Until there's official guidance, domestic car owners could find themselves stuck without access to vital components. Bad news for anyone needing repairs, and worse for service centers that might end up with the cars they can't fix, says CarScoops. Now, realistically, they're trying to get around it, right? They're trying to get around the tariffs by saying, well, part of the engine's made in America. There's a few bolts in the engines made in America. Can we avoid paying the 25% tariff because there's 7 bolts in there that are made in America? The rest of it's made in China or Germany or probably, to be honest, South Korea General Motors, a lot of their stuff's made in South Korea. Mexico as well, a lot of stuff's made in Mexico. Now, the truth is that they're not going to be able to get around it. I don't think that's going to work. I think these tariffs will stick, and it's going to be a really hard time for some of these car manufacturers. Who will affect the most? Unquestionably, Japanese brands. There is no doubt about it. Doesn't matter what the journos tell you, what the media tells you. The truth is that Japan is selling more imported cars in America than anyone else, particularly Toyota. 1 million of Toyota sales, 1 freaking million were manufactured outside of America. Imagine putting a tariff of 25% on those 1 million cars. Toyota just won't be able to do it. People wouldn't be willing to pay 25% tariff on top of the cost of the car. It just wouldn't be competitive. So it will affect them the most, because look at like Mazda, for example, as well. They're in the same position. Subaru. These Japanese car makers, their biggest market now is America. So it will harm them the most, but it will harm American car brands as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. Ford and General Motors are absolutely freaking out. The CEO of Ford, he's having a panic attack. I mean, he's saying that basically the American automotive industry will be decimated if these tariffs go ahead. Farley is sounding the very urgent red alarm over President Donald Trump's threats of tariffs and intent to reverse Biden-era infrastructure laws, saying the administration has good intentions, but is causing the automaker some major stress. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Welcome to all the new subscribers. If you haven't already subscribed, I think about, on average, 75% of people who view the channel haven't yet subscribed. If you haven't already, make sure you do so. President Trump has talked a lot about making our US auto industry stronger, bringing more production here, more innovation to the United States. And if this administration can achieve that, it would be, I think, one of the most signature accomplishments, said Farley at the Wolf Research Auto Tech and Semiconductor Conference. So far, what we're seeing, he said, is a lot of cost and a lot of chaos. Now, here's why. Ford and General Motors manufacture a lot of cars in Mexico and some in Canada. And if there is a 25% tariff on cars made in Mexico in particular, but also Canada, then they're in trouble, because a huge amount of their cars are made in those countries. And they won't make any money on those cars. They'd be making a loss if they were to keep the prices where they're at. Trump threatened to impose 25% tariffs on goods coming from Mexico and Canada, though on Feb the 3rd, he postponed them for a month in exchange for border security measures. But now Trump is threatening 100% tariffs on cars from Canada.